Are you looking to build more core strength for your golf game? And you love the plank, but you don't always feel the core strengthening is the way you think you should? In this video, I'm going to teach you some tricks to build your own personal plank so you always feel your core strengthening and you know you're going to keep bashing those golf balls. Let's get after it. Let's talk plank. When it comes to a plank, remember, it's just purely an isometric. So the main focus is we're going to be generating contraction in our core, and we're not going to be moving either direction, and it's more likely going to be held for time and effort. If you want to learn how to build your own isometric for any occasion, click the link above, 5 simple steps to build your own isometric. One of the biggest flaws when it comes to doing a plank, we automatically assume the best way to drive core strength is to tuck our pelvis and drive ab contraction. There is nothing farther from the truth than this. When it comes to core strengthening, we want to strengthen our entire core. That means front, sides, and back. So trick number 1, let me teach you how to do this. Take your hands, put them on top of your pelvis. Your fingers are going to be right in line with your belly button. Now, for visual purposes, I'm going to turn sideways. With your hands on top of your pelvis, you're going to take your thumb and index finger and kind of squeeze into your sides. Now from here, all I want you to think about doing is trying to tighten your core by expanding out, feeling your entire core pushing out into your fingers. It's like filling your toilet paper roll with a balloon. So we're trying to tighten our core, and I want you to feel that everything's bracing, everything's coming out and just expanding, and you're tightening, you feel contraction in your back, your sides, and your abdominals. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, come back in. Repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times to feel that you're embracing your core, your back, your sides, all the muscles in the midsection. Tip number 2, find neutral pelvis. You can do this a couple ways. You can sit on your chair and kind of rock your pelvis back and forth. The reason we're checking for neutral pelvis is some people are actually stuck in a tuck position, and that's not going to be advantageous to try to build your core all the way around. These are the people that are only going to feel your abs. The other people might be stuck in more of extension, so when they go in that plank, they feel like their back is going to explode, which is why, indirectly, they try to tuck your pelvis to take stress off your back. So if we find that neutral pelvis, we can use that position to drive, we can use that position and then brace our entire core to feel our core strengthening during the exercise. The other way to check where neutral is, if you can't really feel it, stand up. So you'll go down in a slight position, kind of a flex position here, and all I want to see you do is, can you tuck your pelvis? So we want to see tucking and extending. I don't want to see your knees moving back and forth, because if you push your knees back and forth, you're not really seeing if you can't tuck at all. So what I want to see you do is tuck your pelvis, extend your pelvis. As what I'm doing, I feel like I can tuck a lot more than extend, so I'm going to find that middle ground right there to feel that my pelvis is in a neutral position, put my hands on top of my pelvis, and I'm going to drive a contraction. I'm going to brace, feel my abdominals, my back, my entire torso contracting to feel all the muscles expanding into my fingers, so I can feel that sensation, so I can remember that on when I go down into my plank. Now let's get after the plank. There's 1,000 ways to do a plank. When it comes to the plank, all it is what type of position you want to put yourself in. But still, it's the most important part about the plank is talking about trying to find neutral to engage that core. The first variation I would do is I would start from vertical, like when we were sitting in that chair trying to find that core tightening position. If you don't want to move closer toward the ground, which is going to be the hardest, stay in the chair. But the next version would be on some type of chair or a bench. I would come down so my hips are down, but I still keep my knees slightly flexed so I can sit there and find neutral. And when I find that neutral position, I think about engaging my core, filling my core out, feel my lower back, the sides, and abs contract for the select amount of time, and then come back up. As we start progressing the plank to get harder, next one, I'm going to come down to my hands, and some people want to keep their butt up. So what I would do, I'd drop my hips down just a little bit. I won't be down here to the plank how they like to do it, because that position is going to drive lower back extension. I'm going to drop down to a comfortable position here, but I still want to be able to flex and extend my pelvis. So I may not be up here, which some people are, which if that's where you need to be, start there. If you can drop a little lower, find that neutral pelvis right there. Engage your core all the way around. Just like remember when you're sitting, hold that position. Next version, you could come up onto your toes. Same thing. Some people drop all the way down and try to hold their core. If your back can handle it, great. If you can move your pelvis and still find that position, great. But I would pull my knees just a little bit under me so I could find that position. And I would engage my core there. Same thing. Then I would come down to this position here, drop my pelvis down, find a comfortable neutral pelvis in my neutral pelvis, engage my core, feel it all the way around. Again, if this is too much, bring your butt up. That's going to be easier for you. And then after that, bring my legs up, knees slightly underneath me a little bit so I can find that pelvis. And if you're really good, extend your knees, find that neutral pelvis, hold the position. Try this plank progression to improve your core strengthening so you can keep bashing golf balls and also decrease a little back pain. And remember, be flexible. See you next time.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like what you see, love what you see, hit that little red button below, subscribe to my channel, and then you'll be let know every single time a new DIY video has been dropped to make you stronger, help your golf game, and remember guys, you'll be one step closer to be flexible.